Before I forget that. All right, welcome everybody. I'm Francine Lou Miller, and for those of you that may not know me, I've been hosting these little Zooms get-togethers with Ed for, gosh, almost a year now, and been involved with the Auto Trader for
Cool.
a year and a half. Anyway, my background is actually in trading. I traded stocks for large hedge funds and mutual funds for close to 20 years. I did a lot of institutional work in that space. And I always said if I went back to that world, it would be to help the little guy. So I dove into crypto a few years ago, experimented with different bots and platforms that were no bueno. And then I met,
I don't call people the little guy anymore. I call him the average guy.
yeah, the average guy.
Because
Most of
that's
us
all of
are
us.
like,
You know,
yeah,
unless you're sitting on $1 billion, we're just it's just us. It's
right,
everybody.
right. And we get run over, by those big guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I loved about Ed's Auto Trader is the money management piece of it because I had never seen anything like that. I had experimented with other bots where you either run out of money or they take a percent of your profits, and it just you have to tweak it all the time. An error message comes up and it shuts down, and you got to go in there and you think you're trading for 3 days and you're not. You go in, it's like, oh crap, I missed this move. So anyway, with Ed's, it literally is set and forget 24/7. There's a very simple page of parameters. It doesn't require any experience. I was like, oh my gosh, even for someone like me, I don't want to look at charts all day. And those technical indicators, if you are into charts, are programmed into the two AIs, which we'll get into in a little bit, which when I heard that with 25 years of learning already behind them, because Ed has had a stock auto trader since 2000, I was super impressed. So anyway, let's get to our special guest of the day, Mr. Ed Barsano, founder of the Go Baby Trader. And I just want everybody to know a little background about Ed because he's pretty it's pretty amazing. So for
I love
beginners,
hearing about me.
yeah, let's hear about you. He was a programmer in the Navy actually for years, and then he went out to work for the federal government in nuclear engineering, which is pretty remarkable stuff. He was a head developer and cranked out over 100 programs in 2 years. Those guys are working like 20-hour days. Then he was at Microsoft, which you may know at the very beginning, one of the first 350 programmers, and he spent about 8.5 years there as a software engineer. And he went to worldwide operations manager by the time he left with 300 people under him and 6 managers. So he had a lot of responsibilities and retired with a pile of stock options. He was like, why am I even worried? They just give me these things. And so he was dabbling in the markets. Well, he was like everybody. He was investing in the stock market and the big tech bubble hit. And in 2000, he lost a substantial amount of his net worth. And he was like, you mess with the wrong guy. And that's when the Auto Trader he set out to automate the markets and show it's just numbers going up and down on the screen because we tend to overcomplicate things. It's not that hard, and Ed makes it really easy. So he's super passionate about this software, which you'll see when we get going here. So we'll start out, and Ed, if there's anything I left out that you want to touch on real quick, and let's just dive right in. I think a lot of people here
Sure.
are using the software. It looks like we have a few newbies as well. We'll have time at the end for Q&A, and you can also type in the chat if you have any questions or thoughts as we go along. So let's do it.
So this is going to be a 2 water bottle webinar, everybody.
Yeah, Steve already commented in the chat. He says, I love buys and sells in the same day.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
call the market free money. You know that.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I have my Apple 101 device here, my Apple 101.
Notepad.
I take notes. Um, I mean, there's a lot of, I do a lot of webinars and there's so many things we could talk about. I mean, it's just so many. And mostly what I really like people to understand is, I mean, there's really a lot we could say that I could talk about, but it's the understanding of the market because I feel like if you understand the concept, then you're home free for life. And that's the thing. And that's why I call it free money, or I call the market an insult to humanity and all that. Because I didn't, you know, all right, like one of the notes I took yesterday during a webinar was what's the difference between, what do you think? What does the average person think when they buy a coin? They buy the coin, and what are they thinking? That
It's
coin's
gonna
going to
go up.
go up.
Yeah.
That's what everybody thinks right away, and that's where their mindset is. The auto trader is the exact opposite. Because if it goes up, there's nothing to think about. It goes up, you take your profit. What do you want? It's the auto trader saying that coin's going to go to the bottom. It's going to go straight down. So what am I going to do when it goes straight down? So the auto trader is planning for the worst. Safety first, and then worry about anything else. And over the last 25 years, that's what the auto trader has evolved to. It's when it's going down, it's also wiggling. So we're constantly taking profits. And that's the only tool. That's another thing. The only tool the whales have against the public is the public psychology. And the psychology of the public is when a coin goes down, they see their account value going down. And then right away they panic because they say, "Oh my God, my account's going down." And I'm like, "That's just the coin price going lower. Don't even worry about it. When a coin goes lower, we punish the market. We punish the market for going down there." And when some of you may have heard me speak before, I say I'm the opposite of Hillary Clinton. She says when they go low, we go high. Baloney. When they go low, we go low. When they go high, we go high. Wherever that price goes, we go. Therefore, then the coin can never go, it can never bounce 3% up without giving us money. I'm the tax man. For the rest of my life, for the rest of the existence of that coin, it can never bounce 3%. It can go down 60%. I don't care because when it bounces, it's going to give me money. And I'm building all this inventory on the way down. And some of you may have heard me say it before. A well-seasoned auto trader has a lot of inventory because when these coins start that rally up, because remember, we've been on a downtrend for the last 4 years. Wait till that trend starts turning up. The auto trader has prepped you the whole time for when that happens. And in the meantime, you're still taking profits almost every day anyways. So we're still taking profits, but while we're taking profits, the auto trader is prepping us for the kill, for the big money, because we're loaded up. And what's the rush? Some people feel like, "Oh, I'm sitting all this dead inventory." No, you're not. What are you going to do? Go out and buy a Ferrari tomorrow? I mean, are you that in a hurry? Because all your money, what are you going to do with it otherwise? Throw it in a bank and let it sit there? Throw it in a bond for 5 years and get 5% a year interest? I mean, there's really, and as opposed to leaving it in an auto trader that can give you 100% a year when the market's moving right, we do 100% a year standing on our head. Watch when that market starts turning up. This auto trader has never seen a bull market. That's the beauty. We've been in a bear market and killing it in a bear market. Watch what happens in a bull market. Man, it's just, I'm excited because I've seen
Yeah.
every once in a while a coin will jump for a few days straight up. Like you saw January 26th when ACH, Alchemy Pay, made its little run from 2.2 cents to 5.6 cents in 5 days. Man, my auto trader had a field day. And you know what's cool is all the original Go Baby Trade clients that signed up 4 years ago when I first released the crypto trader, they're all in ACH. So we literally were sending tens of thousands of orders to Coinbase and Kraken all at once. It was crazy, man. I thought they were going to crash for sure, but they didn't. They really Kraken had a little bit of a hard time, but Coinbase just sucked up those sell orders, man. And then the coin came all the way back down to 1.7 cents again, which was way cool. It's like, "Hey, thanks for the free money." It went up. We sold off a buttload of inventory that we were sitting on. Plus, while it was going higher in those 5 days, it started wiggling, going up and down, and we started buying more even while it was on an uptrend. So we were buying more. And if you look at the auto trader now, I started logging in the trader the reason for the trade. So you're going to see things like, instead of it, it used to say all add to position rules passed. Now it
Mhm.
says added to decliner, added to advancer, added to a gap. A gap is filling the gap. Like if a coin drops, say 10% overnight, and you bought down here, if the coin goes up a little bit, before it sells this bottom one, it can actually add to the gap and buy more in the middle of that. So we
Mhm.
got the market coming and going, and the market and the exchange doesn't even know what you're doing, man. They don't know they have no clue what's happening. All they see is orders coming at them,
Yeah, that's the
so
beauty of this too, for those that don't know, that this is just a software tool that connects to your very own Coinbase or Kraken account. It's an API connection. So the auto trader only has permission to execute trades on your behalf. Nobody else has access to your money or can move funds except for you. And I personally help you set that up. It's very easy. And the other thing, Ed, I want to touch on too, is that like this software has been around for, and we have a 25-year track record, Ed does, because he initially started this for stocks, like I mentioned, in 2000. That company grew big. He had what, Ed, like 30 or 40 customer service reps and
I had
thousands of
40
clients.
support people, man. It was driving me crazy.
Yeah,
um
a lot of screens where you could set your own parameters, and what he would say, like blow yourself up with all these
10
technical.
screens of ways to blow yourself up, and boy were people doing it. So I learned, no, so it was an education thing. And that answers questions like, why would I release this? Why? Because everybody thinks differently. Some people think, well, why would he be sharing this with you? If it was real, he wouldn't be sharing it. And I'm like, I need the infrastructure for my traders too. And it was you, and when I say you, I'm talking about everybody. When the market crashed in 2000, I really didn't know anything about the market other than I could see I could look at charts and see it's just numbers going up and down. And I knew I could do money management to deal with that and just take profits forever. And
Mhm.
if I share my screen real fast, if I can,
Yeah, and it's like what
the concept of the bucket and the well, that was the thing that, let me see if I can get past that. One second. I'm trying to hide this bar and I'm floating in the middle of my face. Everybody knows if a bucket goes to the bottom to get the water and goes all the way back up and repeats that forever, as long as the bucket is big enough and there's enough water in the water basin down there to last, the bucket it'll just keep pumping water forever, right? Nobody disputes that. But the bucket can't go halfway down and then go back up. It'll come up with no water. It's got to go to the bottom. And this is our advantage. In the crypto market, it doesn't have to go to the bottom. It can just go down a little bit and go up a little bit and give me free money. Just free money forever. And if it goes lower, I'm not worried about, like I always say, inventory. Hold that inventory, because when that coin makes a 20 or 30% jump, and that's what cryptos do all the time, stocks move like this. The stock prices, all right? They move like this. Cryptos move like this. They jump around. So that's the cool thing. That's the difference what I've observed in the last 4 years. Stocks, their prices move. Cryptos jump around. I mean, a crypto can jump up 50% in 5 minutes and then jump down 50% in the next 5 minutes. It's beautiful. That's gold to an auto trader, man. Because you jump up like that, the auto trader says, "Man, I got all this inventory. I'm gonna dump it all." And then it starts buying it back on the way back down. I'm like, "Hey, thanks." And I can't say it enough. Thanks for the free money. So you noticed when it went so far down, all of a sudden it jumped all the way back up the bucket. I
Mhm.
was talking when that was happening. And then it sells off all that inventory you were sitting on, which is cool. You can look at
Yeah.
CoinMarketCap. I mean, here, I was looking at Swift here, and I was just looking at the price moves, the jumping around that it's doing, in the
Mhm.
last 7 days. Um, I mean, when a coin jumps up like that, everything you owned down here, you just sold off. If you didn't already sell it off, that is. Like if you bought it down here, this one here before this spike, and then when it jumped up here, any inventory you had below that sells off. And then it jumps it back down. I'm like, hey, I'll buy more back down here again. And then I'll resell it again. And then when it jumps up like that, any inventory you had below that is gone. I actually get calls from people when the market's crashing like this, going straight down. People go, Ed, should I stop my auto trader from trading? From buying more because the market's going down? I'm like, no. The biggest money you're going to make is what you bought at the bottom because you're going to sell it off at much higher prices. I mean, and if it wants to stay down here and wiggle for the rest of my life, go ahead and do that too. I don't care. I'm taking free money anyways. I call the market an insult to humanity. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it really is. And that sounds, I don't know what to say, because I almost feel like what I'm doing is almost illegal, but I'm not. I didn't invent commerce, Nobody said you can't buy a coin at one price and sell it at a higher price. Now, where do other people go wrong? They go in all at the top. They go all in. They're dying to go all in. I'm not lying, 3 emails a day from different people saying, how do I make my auto trader use more of the money? And they don't realize you got to reserve money for down here. When a coin is at the top wiggling up and down, the amount of profits I'm making per trade is the same amount if that coin dropped 80% and it starts wiggling down here. I'm making the same amount per trade down here as I did up here. That's because I didn't use up all the money up here and I did proper money management. The software does the proper money management and risk management. So you're never out of the game. It could trade in perpetuity. It's just free money for life, literally for life. Once you have an auto trader, it's end game on this planet. It literally is end game. You're done. Then your mission in life is, where do I find more money to throw in this auto trader? Because it's the perfect place to park your money. And we can jump over here and go to the trader. And here's what's happening. The market's been dropping since February, since the crypto summit at the White House. I mean, I can tell you what's going on because I live and breathe this. As soon as they did the crypto summit at the White House, Trump had his 25 minions, or whatever you call them. I call them minions, multi-millionaires, 25 of them, that he unleashed onto the crypto regulatory world. And he said, remove all the everything that is holding this crypto market back. Because he's sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. You can Google that. And he's going to turn that 7 billion into 70 billion, okay? I mean, you really need 70 billion. I don't know if I could live with less than 5 billion. That's crazy but it's cool because he's helping all of us. They're removing all the regulations holding this market back. And so as soon as that happened, as soon as word went out that they're going to do all that, what do you think happened to the market? It started crashing. Why did it crash? Well, you can use your head because all the rich want in now. And when they want in, what do? They push the prices down. And what does that do? The effect it has on the people. This is my open inventory, and this is my closed positions that I already closed, and this is the money I locked in on each coin, okay? So the open inventory, that's your open positions that you're sitting on. That's the only tool they have against the public. They push the prices down, so this price goes more negative, right? And when that goes more negative, that pulls your account value down and makes that more negative. People feel like I'm losing, and they have the help of all their friends and family in this because it's crypto. And what do you think the friends and family are saying? Get out, you're going to lose everything. You're being made a fool of. This crypto market isn't even real. Think of all the people that were sitting on 100 Bitcoin 10 years ago and they sold it all off because of peer pressure, and they would have been multi-millionaires already. Instead, they sold it all off, and that's what's basically happens now. Luckily, people in Go Baby Trade don't jump ship. But millions of other people are jumping ship. And what do you think happens when all these people are selling at the bottom? Who do you think's sucking up those shares like crazy? The guy with $30 million that he's dying to throw 30 million into the coin. I mean, the wealthy are literally plowing fortunes into these coins, and they are loading up at the bottom like crazy, and so are we. But the difference is we're actually making more than they are on a percentage basis because we're actually buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. Trump is sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. He didn't just buy it all at the bottom. He was buying it the whole time. He's doing what we're doing. He's loading up because he knows these coins are going to rocket to really new highs. And in the meantime, we're taking profits like crazy. So the difference is like I said before, the only tool they have is they can lower the price of the coin, but they can't just keep lowering it because it'll go to zero. So they're forced to every once in a while push it up. And like I showed on CoinMarketCap, when they do that, we have a field day. We take all that profit. We take all that what I call free money. So so
Good
and then
explanation.
they can never take this free money that we took back from us. That's our money. Do what you want with it. The auto trader's job is to make money. You can spend it however you want. So in the last few months, they've been really driving this market down. And you can see even on this one here, they're actually exceeded they've managed to, I mean, all these were positive, believe me, they were all net positive. But a few over the last few months of going down, 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 we've been they've been lowering the prices faster than the auto trader could take the profits because it wasn't going up fast enough and it was going down, down, down. But we were still taking, I've still taken $62,000 on this coin. And now they pushed the negative inventory down 95,000. Fine, but you know what? Where are they going? You're going to take it to zero? You want to? I used to say that for years. I used to talk about Microsoft when I used to trade it at $30. I used to say, what are they going to do? Run Microsoft out of business or steal a few $1,000 from me? Otherwise, they're going to have to run that stock up. And when they do, I got you trapped. And where's Microsoft now? $500 a share. So, they can play their games, but while they're busy playing their games, pushing it down and scaring, as Francine calls them, scaring the little guy out, we're busy taking profits like crazy. This number can only go higher, and this number can only go lower if they want. But as soon as it starts going higher, that negative starts going away, and all the profits start going into here. So for the rest of my
Yeah.
life, I know it's just free money forever. And
And
you
thank
know
you.
what? I find this bottom one the most exciting. Swift. That's why I brought it up. I'm like,
Mhm.
boy, they've been pushing that coin down really hard, and it hasn't been wiggling very much, you know. And I'm like, it's interesting that they're doing it to Swift, because if I go to the highest trade count report, where is Swift on this report? Number one. This coin's
Yeah.
been number one for a year, man. He's the biggest
Yeah.
moving coin and they're playing their little game, but you can see what it was before the crypto summits. 185 trades in last February, 378 trades last January, and then they start playing this little game where they're trying to get things to slow down. You can see the same thing on SPA. 125 trades, 242 trades. These are monthly counts. Closed trades, profitable trades, money in your hand. And they've tried to drive these coins down. Look at every coin is the same. It's like they're playing this game. And I'm like, go ahead and play all you want, unless I believe it's the end of the crypto market, man, the whole world's going to crypto. They are not going to stop what's happening, and they don't want to stop it. They're all loading up. All the whales, your House, your Senate, don't think that they're not all loading up like crazy at the bottom. And they do this every crash. They did it with
It's
the
so
bank stocks in 2008 when they pushed the bank stocks down to $1, got everybody out, and then they rocketed the price to $50 a share.
Yeah, I'm so glad, Ed. Let's pause for a minute here that you point that out because yeah, the average person, which is most of, like we talked about, the population doesn't understand. And the markets, I know from my experience, are 100% emotional driven. And so when we see the value of our portfolio going down, we start to freak out because we have to look at Go Baby Trade and differently, and focus on the profits taken column because, crypto is the future. Web3 is the future. This is a long term, we're not literally day traders are looking to, take unreasonable profits out of the market every day and expecting to have this thing return, substantial amounts of money. This is a long-term conservative method.
Unless
because
you're gonna run out and buy a Ferrari tomorrow and you feel like you got to
yeah,
dump everything to go buy the car, I mean, it's just gonna sit anyways. It's like relax. Look at this highest trade count report. Some call this the $1 billion report. Um, I produce this report once a month, and it shows the coins that produce the most over the last year. Okay, and now if you were running a 7-Eleven, for example. I've never ran a 7-Eleven, but or like a Quick Mart. But if you were, but I have a logical brain. If I was going to open up a 7-Eleven, I imagine I would have to have the building, and I would have to have all the shelves in there, and the coolers, and the parking, and the lighting, and the cash register for checking out. But at some point, you're going to sit down with that distributor who's going to bring all the stuff to the store. That's it. You're not going to deal with 50 different distributors. You're probably going to, in my mind, you're going to deal with a distributor or maybe a couple. But you're going to sit down and he's going to bring up all the top stuff. There's your Monster drinks, there's your vapes, they're up there, right? Um, Potato chips, candy, whatever. Now, that's going to be at the top of the report. He's going to sit down, I imagine, I'm just guessing, but I would think that I want the biggest moving items, and that's what we're trading in the crypto market too. That's what this report shows us. Show me the coins that are going to turn the most inventory. This is just commerce, man. I didn't invent commerce, but there it is. You want the stuff that moves the most. Now, where are you going to find your iodine and all that kind of stuff? Band-Aids and Lysol, if they even sell Lysol in a 7-Eleven. Well, I imagine that would be at the bottom of the report. The non-mover stuff, the stuff that you're going to get 38 trades in a year, 71 trades in a year. I don't want this garbage in my 7-Eleven, and I don't want it in my auto trader. That's why I actually produce this highest trade count report for everybody. So you can pick the top movers, the stuff that turns most inventory. I mean, again, it's all common. It's all so basic that I'm amazed. But I've been doing it 25 years, so I live and breathe this stuff. I don't know, other people. These bots, as they call them, they didn't exist more than a couple of years ago. There were no bots years ago. When it was the stock market, I was the only auto trader since 2001 all the way till now, until 2021, I guess. There still are no auto traders, fully robotic traders in existence other than Go Baby Trade, really, for the stock market. But for some reason, all these bots start popping up over the last few years. And I'm like, they don't know what they don't know because I've been running for 25 years and I know you got to get rid of all the stuff that doesn't work because it only takes a few things that don't work to destroy your whole account. All
right,
right,
right.
right off the bat, what's the first rule that if you put in your trader that will destroy this whole trader? Come on, take a guess. Stop loss.
Stop loss. Yeah.
Because when it goes down, you want to buy more. You don't want to sell it. And they teach in all these classes. They teach these classes. These classes, by the way, that are being taught by people who don't even really trade, they're lying. They're lying because of the stuff they're saying. I'm like, man, if I did what they're preaching out there, I'd get killed in the market. And they say, oh, if your coin's down 3%, sell it at a loss. Goodbye, you're gone. And another thing, you need to start loading up. You see, and this is where I feel like I don't want to sound like a salesman, but you got to just get on board and turn on your auto trader because you got to let it do what it does. It's got to build inventory. Do you see this? Each time you buy a coin, it adds one lot. If I buy one more, if I click this plus, it'll actually expand it. Let me minus this down here. And it'll actually show you this the most recent lot I bought of ACH is down 2%. Okay, well, the strategy set to add more on a 3% drop. It actually tells you if the price goes, the current bid ask price, because you buy on the ask, is 1.9 cents. If the price declines, there's decline to 1.79 cents, it's right down to the fraction of a penny. Then it'll buy more. It'll add more. It's telling you when it's going to buy more, how far down it has to go. And if it goes up to 5 cents, it's going to add more on the top up here. That means it's got to go above my highest buy that I ever used to buy ACH, which was a few years ago. And I'm still sitting in that position. It's okay. You can sit on that lot up there. The action's down here. So it's telling you when it's going to buy more because the current price is 19257 and it's got to drop to 1792017 1.7 cents. And it's even telling me when to take profit. It's saying the profit at 2 cents. 0.020 right here. It's telling you when it's going to take profit. So it's letting you know ahead of time where it's going to do it. But what I was saying is I'm sitting on 18 open lots of ACH. I'm sitting on 15 lots of Doge, 32 lots of GRT. I mean, that means these coins have really tanked. And I'm like, go ahead. We're all the way down here at the bottom of a multi-million-dollar company. GRT gets 2 billion hits in their APIs every day. They are like they're going nowhere. Don't worry about them. They're not. It's like Coinbase. They're a publicly traded company, right? They're up another $3 today, to like $370 a share. I mean, I'm not worried about Coinbase going out of business because these are all the negative things people say. I hear people talk about. Oh, what if that coin goes out of business? I'm like, GRT isn't going out of business. That's like Intel going out of business or Microsoft going out of business. That's not going to happen. They are so big in the crypto world, and Alchemy Pay is like PayPal or Apple Pay worldwide, another multi-million-dollar company. Instead of going for $2 or $20 a share, they're going for 1.9 cents. What an insult. What a joke. Man, if you're not loading up on that, I mean, what an opportunity of a lifetime to be able. You are never going to have an opportunity like this in your life. But you don't want to just throw all your money in ACH right away because then you're going to be all in at the top. And what happens when it goes lower? You want to
Yeah.
always be in the game. I'm never in prey mode. I never have to worry about, if you put all your, like, let's look at reality. ACH was 12 cents 3 years ago. 4 years ago in October of 21 when the market hit that crypto winter when they started it. It was at 12 cents. If you threw all your money in there, which a lot of people did, not Go Baby Trade clients, but a lot of people out there did, they threw all their money in up there. The coin is sitting down here under 2 cents. They're miserable because they're missing all the action. Thousands of trades a year. They're missing all these trades up and down. They're missing all the action because you know what they're doing? They don't have any money now because it's all in up here. And they put it all in. They're waiting for it to go all the way back up there before they can even start break even. And I'm like, man, I'm killing it, and the coin is sitting at the bottom. I mean, I got the
Right.
market by the you-know-whats.
Ed, let's look at the left side too while we're here. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We're just always, no matter where price is. I think that's so important for people to understand. But on this left side, will you give people a sense of when you started this auto trader, like how much
Okay.
you started with? I know you
Well,
have a,
here it is. I
yeah.
started this auto trader right here. Total profits taken. It's if you add up the closed positions over here, you can just add them up right there. They're going to add up to that number right there, exactly to the penny. This is how much profits it's taken, because that's the important thing. Profits taken off the table. That adds up
February
forever.
2023. So
I started that account with 200,000. Okay. And we
okay.
were, until they started doing this crazy down game, we were really, all that profit was just, we were all net positive on everything. And by them pushing it down, it's like, thank you, man. That fact that you went lower, I love you at the lowest price. You want to go lower, I'll go down there too.
I know
So it
you have some
shows.
auto traders too that you started in like the ended 2021, which was literally the top of the bull market, the
Of the
beginning of the bear winter. So yeah,
yeah, which is cool.
those
And
are,
and a lot of inventory is good.
yeah.
Because when a coin jumps 20%, or I mean, you can look at, I mean, let's just look at something here real fast. I keep going there
And the
to the
point is
website.
what Sarah brought up in the chat too, is that you've taken way more profits out than any kind of market movement on the upper,
Right.
like, so it catches up. And
I wanted to go to L3 here. This is really cool. I think this is it here, right? Just not too long ago, boom, right here. So I opened up another auto trader 6 weeks ago, and I just grabbed the top 5 coins, from the highest trade count report. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just grabbed all 5 of these, and look at number 5 was L3, right? So I started trading that one, and then so I started it somewhere over here. And then all of a sudden it just popped 50% in one day. I'm like, man, my auto trader just so, and again, like I said, it didn't just go there gradually, it went there. It just went there. You see a straight line up. So my
mm,
auto trader sold off all my inventory, every lot that I was sitting on, all these lots, individual lots that had bought on the way down. It just sold them all off at once, 50% higher. And then bought it all back. And this is all on the same day. And it was like, so it started the day here, ended the day maybe a little bit higher. It really didn't matter because I basically started the day and ended the day at the same price, but they gave me all this free money. I'm like, what an insult to humanity.
and
What a
let's talk
joke
about
this
that for a
market
minute
is.
because if you took more than 3% out on the sell, let's talk about the two AIs with the auto trader, one on the buy and one on the sell.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I don't even think the AI had a chance to even get involved in this because it just went straight up and it just took the free money.
Mhm.
Because there are other rules that say if I've already made X amount on a trade, just take it. Don't even look at the AI. Don't even look at anything. Just grab that money. Because
Oh,
when it pops like that, it's gonna pop right back down. So, but the AI in a normal scenario, when a price is going higher, the auto trader calls, the auto trader says, I want to take profit. Okay, it's already up over 3%. The software says, I want to take profit now. I'm going to lock this one in that I bought down here. When it goes higher, I'm going to take the profit. I want to lock in the profit. Okay? But then it calls AI and says, AI, do you think it's going to go higher? And the AI is all the technical analysis indicators, stochastics, MACD, relative strength index, all those. That AI is perfect for is pattern recognition, and it deals with all that better than anybody could. You ever see somebody sitting behind 6 monitors trying to look at 6 different indicators? The AI handles all that all at once, 27 indicators. And it can tell me with 95 and above percent accuracy if a coin is going to go higher in the next few minutes or not. So it'll call the AI, and if the AI comes back and says, "Hey, I'm 98% sure that coin's going to go higher within the next 30 minutes." Okay? So then the software will hold off on taking the profit and it'll let the price go higher in the next every minute it'll keep calling the AI until the AI gives up and says, I don't see it going higher. And then the auto trader will say, well, I'm above 3%. It might go up 7%. Fine, I'll take the 7%. I'll lock in the money. And if it's going down, it's the same thing. If the coin is going lower and the software says it's down more than 3%, it simply calls the AI, another AI, a separate one, and says, do you think the coin's going to go lower? If the AI doesn't say it's going to go lower, then the software goes ahead and buys more.
yeah.
I make it look so simple, right? It's millions of lines of code
Yeah.
because
And
there's a lot
27,
more stuff the market's throwing at you see all these new bots coming up. Even if they had AI, which I doubt, because I know what it takes. I know the infrastructure that it takes to really do it right. And I don't think you're just going to do that on your computer. You couldn't do it on a regular computer. I mean, you wouldn't be able to check your email. The computer would be
well,
using all the resources.
they don't
Um,
have the 25 years of,
They don't know. They don't know what they don't know because AI is looking at history and it's looking
Mhm.
at millions of lines of patterns of data and patterns. And it says, I've seen this pattern 1,000 times, and I can tell you when that pattern hits, because that what is a pattern? A pattern is it's looking at your ecosystem, the current what's going on right now, an instant in time. And it can look at all this, everything going on right at this instant. AI cannot tell you what a coin's going to do tomorrow because it doesn't know what the ecosystem is tomorrow. It doesn't know what's going on a day ahead. But it can look at right this instant in time and say, based on what I'm looking at right now, the coin's going to go higher. That's all. It's not magic, but it's also not a crystal ball.
Right.
So, and that's what people want to think it is. So you notice I never bragged about AI, and it's been in my traders all the way since 2001. I was doing AI at Microsoft in 89, so I've been doing it for a lot of years. And
Mhm.
and so I know that these guys that they just created this stuff and they're bragging about, oh, I have AI, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're bragging about. I don't get it. AI is a nice bell and a whistle. It's a nice tool, but it's not a forecasting system. It's not going to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. If I had
Right.
that, if I knew what a coin was going to do tomorrow, I'd be richer than Warren Buffett.
Right.
Uh,
Well, and AI too has this 27 technical indicators, which I love as a market technician in the past. It's amazing. I don't have to deal with all of that stuff. It's already,
yeah, you don't want to look at all that. It's
let's
it's
take,
it's it's
let's,
ugly to
yeah,
look at.
let's
But
take
you
a look
can.
too at the
Oh,
pages you can set. Well, if you want to finish this set, then let's look at the parameters.
okay. So I wanted to just show you, like you
Yeah.
said, let's go down the left. It's every page has view videos. So you can watch videos of talking me yapping about everything. The first thing I look at when I come on here is I look at today's move. And you see they're all up. This one's up 2%, this one's up 3.52%. Let's show orders here. Let's see what's going on. So down here, I can see that today, now look at 10-1, that was yesterday. It had 3 closed trades. Okay. I can scroll down. There's 10-1. 9:30 was the day before yesterday. All it did was buy. Think of a 7-Eleven again. You put product on the shelf, you sell it off, you restock the shelf. So if I scroll down, and then the day before that it sold one, the day before that it sold another one, it did another buy. But if I scroll, you can see the last few days in this, over the last week, we've been having a lot of down days, and the auto trader's saying, fine, you want to go there, I'll load up. I'll buy a lot more inventory at these crazy low prices. I mean, why wouldn't I want that? But then you look what happens when, every time the market tries to have up days, we sell all that inventory off all in a row, all day. Every day. There's 913, 912, 911, 910, 98. Just all this. I just call it's just free money. And if I go back to the beginning, and I scroll, you can see it's selling off inventory and buying more inventory back. And if I just scroll, you can see that's what it does. It's just constantly taking money. And I remember I was debating with somebody. It was a crazy debate. I was kind of joking, because he said, "Look at all the money you took, 352,000 in profit." I said, "I didn't take that." And we're on the air, man. And I'm like, "I didn't take that." And he's like, "What are you talking about? It shows right here, total profits taken, 352,000." I said, "I didn't take that." He said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Here's what I took: $145, $88, $81. I took it
Mhm.
all in little bits and it added up to that." See, that's the beauty. Everybody, if you own a 7-Eleven, I know you want to make a lot of money on your potato chips, but raising the price of potato chips to $50 a bag isn't going to get you there. Nobody's going to buy your $50 bag of potato chips. You got to sell a lot of bags at $4. And the lower the profit goal, the more inventory, the more movement you get. So you're constantly just taking money. I mean, it's an insult to humanity, I swear to God. And if everybody, see, now there's some of you that won't sign up, and I'm like, I can't help that. I just can't help it. I can't make you, these expressions that you heard all your life and you never really thought about, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I never really gave that any thought until I started doing this, and I'm like, man, that's true. You can show them all the evidence in the world that it's free money, and they're still in denial. I heard a statistic that 92% of people in America are not in crypto at all. Only 8% even know anything about crypto. And what I've also done a little more research, of those 8%, I'd say I'd say 7.9% of them are all they're in crypto, but they're doing it all wrong. They're just loading up on crypto. Some of you may be in that boat where every month you're just throwing your more money into your coins, and you're not using proper money management, so it's not helping you. Like the auto trader's not is smart enough to say, I already own it at this price. So if the price is still the same, I'm not going to buy more at the same price. The price has to either increase 3% or it's got to decrease 3%. But I'm not going to buy more at within that 6% window. So the software is saving your money. Why is it saving your money? Because when the prices go down here, remember the auto trader is saying the market's it's gonna go to the bottom. It's always protection. And it's reserving that money for when the prices go lower. And you're already
Mhm.
getting close, if I look at the top traders and I look at how people did this is the trailing 12 months. This guy started with 3,000 12 months ago, and he took $15,000 in profit. That's physical money off the table. That's a 477% return. Isn't that enough for people? Why do they feel like they got to make that? Some people, I've heard somebody ask, I want to make 1% per day. All right. Well, what you're saying is you want to make 365% in a year. I don't know how to make the market do that because the
Yeah, and
market's not going to go straight up. It's going to go up and down. You take what the market wants to give you. I'm not here to dictate to the market. The market doesn't even know I exist. The market's going to do what it wants to do. And if the market wants to give me 477%, I'll take it. This guy got 255%. He started with 1,300 and he took $3,432 of physical money off the table. He did over 200% return. I mean, it's up to the market, and you just got to let the market do what it does, and knowing that, and you can see it taking profits almost every day, and those profits are going to add up. Picture if you had a jar and just keep throwing a marble in it. Has any of you ever tried that? I mentioned it before. Has anybody ever put a jar and just threw a marble a day in it? Watch that thing fill up. That's what the auto
yeah,
trader is doing.
I just want to preface this report too, so everybody knows that you do like any manual trading that's occurring. If anybody does one little manual trade, it does not show up in
Boom,
this.
you're out of there. You're out of
It's
there.
just set and forget.
The
And
auto
also,
trader.
I know you have pages of like 6 and 7 figure accounts, but you don't want people to think they have to have that much money to trade. So you weed those, you take all of those traders out too, and just give it to 50 or so traders that are like average people that would come in with a normal kind of
Yeah. I mean,
an amount of.
this report might go to 150,000 and that's it. I'm not sure if I look down further, I don't see anything above. Well, that guy's got 419,000. And maybe it lopped off at 500,000 because we do have a lot of people with $1 million accounts, multiple accounts with a million in each one. Um,
Mhm,
and there's reasons for that. Some people want to split their money, like put a million in Coinbase and a million in Kraken.
mhm.
Some people play with different numbers. They open different portfolios in their Coinbase account so they can have multiple, and they put different symbols in one portfolio and different symbols and throw a million in that one and a million in the other one. People split up their money different ways. Most of us just plop it all into one account,
Yeah.
and let it go.
So let's
But
go
you
back
don't
to.
need the whole purpose of this report. Really, what I like is it demonstrates that you don't need $1 million. I mean, I've got another account with $1 million in it. You remember I used to always show that one, and now I'm showing the smaller account that's got 440,000. And I did open up another account 6 weeks ago with 150,000. That's the one where I grabbed the top 5 coins off the highest trade count report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I've got multiple accounts, but once you get it, your mission then is, where can I find more money to put in this auto trader? People are selling their rental properties. People share with me. People are mortgaging their house, and I try to tell them, don't. I hate that. I put a video on the website. I said, don't mortgage your house, because people were giving me like the play-by-play with the phone. All right, my loan's almost through. I'm like, oh God. I mean, you spent 30 years to pay off your house. Don't create another mortgage. I mean, I know you want to get rich here, and you're gonna do great anyways, but don't get crazy. Not that I'm afraid that they're gonna lose their money. My biggest concern is that they mortgage their house for 200,000 and throw 100,000 in an auto trader and then go and blow the other 100,000. Now you're just creating debt. And that's the reason I said don't mortgage your house. I think if they were going to throw all the money into the auto trader, I'd be okay with it. But it's because I really don't trust the people, to be
So
honest.
yeah, totally. Let's look at how the parameters page so people can do a quick overview of that
Okay.
and answer questions.
So you go to the
Uh,
menu
yeah.
and you can go down and you can go to the select currencies or edit strategy page. And I already brought it up here. Um, This actually shows you at the top of the page, again, more videos. You can select your exchange, and you can say, let's click daily move percent, long term. That's over a 6-month period, and let's see what it looks like. It's got all the coins that you can trade. There's about 350 coins at Coinbase. There they all are. And it shows you what percentage they're moving per day on average, like 0.39%. Let me tell you, man, when that number starts going to 2%, you're going to see this market fly. See, right now it's I look down the middle and I just kind of take the average of both sides. And 0.39, 0.39, 0.39, 0.39. Over to the left, you got 1% movers. But these are, I mean, you don't want to just sell off anything you own over here just to buy these over here right away, because, inventory, there's two things that are important. One is, give me coins that move a lot. And number two is, most valuable actually, is a well-seasoned auto trader when you have a lot of inventory, because that takes a long time to build that inventory. So when you first sign up, what do you have here? On the day, that's why I tell people you got to just sign up and get the show started, because your auto trader is only going to have one lot. You're going to buy one. You're going to buy each of these coins one time. Buy each one. Then you're going to have one lot of each one. So again, let's go back to the 7-Eleven. You got one bag of potato chips on the shelf. A school bus full of kids pulls in. You only got one bag of chips to sell. But if I had 18 bags of chips on to sell and a school bus full of kids pulls in, I got a lot of inventory to sell. I'm going to sell a lot of bags of chips. And if I convert that to the crypto market, what I'm saying is, if that coin jumps 20%, I want to have a lot of inventory that I could sell and take 20% for each lot, instead of only one. I only got one lot, I'm going to sell it. So you really want to get started. Get the show on the road, because that's another psychological thing. A lot of people feel like, what do they want to do? They want to, oh, the market's going up now. Jump in. You don't even have anything, man. You're gonna jump in all right, the market's going up, so you're gonna jump. Don't jump in for that reason, because just because it's up today doesn't mean it won't go down the next 5 days. That's not a good reason to jump in. Jump in for the reason of, you want down days. You want to. So over the last week, how many down days did we have? It was beautiful. I have not seen the market go down that much in the last 3 years. I mean, I'm watching these coins crashing, and for no reason. That's the beauty. The market's crashing for no reason other than the whales are loading up at the bottom like crazy because they know they're going to rocket this thing. And what have they already done now in the last 2 days since October 1st? You know, 2 up days in a row, and watch and look what happens when that happens. You start selling off your inventory. 10-1, 10-2. Today is 10-2. You just start
Mhm.
selling off your inventory. It's
So Ed,
everything
we
you
have.
bought on the down days. You need to get started. And I'm not being a salesman on that. I'm just being
Yeah.
realistic.
Like the best time to plant a tree was, yesterday, right? Yeah.
I
So,
don't know. But anyways, that's the coins. But then if we go lower, we can see here's the coins we're trading, that I'm trading. Now this trader started a long time ago before I even had the highest trade count report. So I couldn't find the ones that were moving the most. I added that one later, Swift. Um, but for the last few years, I was only trading these 4 coins. ACH, that's like Apple Pay worldwide, great coin. I'll trade them forever. Dogecoin, every time Elon Musk used to get on TV, he'd say, you could buy a Tesla with your Dogecoin. So I said, oh, wow. And then the coin would jump 30% when he says that. And I'm like, well, technically, I could buy a Tesla with any coin. Just sell the coin, get the money, and go buy the car you know. But anyways, he every time he used to say it, the coin would jump. And GRT, that's the graph. They get 2 billion hits a day with their APIs. I write APIs. I don't get 2 billion hits a day. I mean, these guys are a multi-billion-dollar company. They're not going anywhere, and they're sitting there in the sitting at 8 cents a share, which is a joke. I mean, they should be $80 a share. I'm telling you, the rich are gonna get so rich, man. The rich are waiting. This is gonna be the mother of all paydays. If I look at every crash all the way since 87 that's ever happened in the market, the wealth generated in those crash is going to pale by comparison to what they're doing right now with this crypto market. They have got the market where they want it. They have actually been able to push these coins down 90%, and they're holding them down there. And the little guy, again, as Francine calls him, the little guy, the average guy, is just dumping his shares. He's like, these coins aren't even moving. I'm getting out. And they're selling their coins at a loss at the bottom, and the rich are loading up like crazy, as are we. So so
so
so that's what's going on there. Shiba Inu, one of the most widely held coins out there. Probably 9 out of every 10 crypto holders is sitting on SHIB. Gotta have SHIB. And the price is so ridiculously low. Last year I watched that coin go up 66% one day, and the very next day it went up 100% more. I mean, these coins can fly. And then Swift is the #1 coin on my highest trade count report. So I love that. Um, so yeah, you can. Some people say, well, I don't want to add to advancers. I'll just sell it when it goes up. I don't want to add more while it's going higher. Fine, you can uncheck that if you want. It adds to decliners while it's going down. It adds to advancers while it's going up. And then it automatically, if you're adding to advancers, it can fill the gap between those automatically. Allow cells. Sometimes some people want to accumulate. Some people put like XRP like that, and I'm going to just click on that. And they'll uncheck the allow cell. So that means accumulate while the coin is moving around. And I just gave it $12,000 to work with. And
mhm.
accumulate while it's going up and down. Buy more, but don't sell it. Let it just accumulate, because some people think XRP is going to go to the moon. I frankly don't play that game. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a buy and holder. I don't own anything that I'm not buying and selling. So I would never do that.
So
If
Ed,
I
real
don't
quick.
save, by the way, if I don't save this page, then that's just going to go away. It's not real. I didn't save that. So I'll
Yeah.
just leave it. It doesn't matter. I'm not going
While
to save.
we're on this, while we're on this screen, there's a couple little questions we'll just, I guess, go ahead and address. So,
Yes, let's do that.
as you showed, a new trader with the new top 5 coins that you added in. So there's some questions about, should I add those coins into my trader? Like let's touch
No.
on like what yeah, because you pick your coins and they move around a lot in that top trade
You
report. So
already
you
have a lot of inventory of the coins you're already
yeah,
trading, and I said I place more value on the fact that I have a lot of inventory. A well-seasoned auto trader takes months to accumulate 25 or 30 lots of a coin. That means that coin's got to drop a lot, which is really what you want. But it takes a while for that to happen. That's more valuable than just, I mean,
yeah,
some people, like somebody says, I want to get out of ACH. Well, they say, okay, they won't, you can uncheck allow, don't buy anymore, just allow it to sell off. So you didn't allocate funds remaining is 0. And then you can hit spread funds equally. See how much money it had? This 17,000, and if I spread funds equally, it'll take that 17,000 and divide it up equally amongst the other coins.
mhm. Yeah,
So
it's
you're
better in
using
like
it
the
there. And then
overall.
you can add another coin if you want. And then it won't add to that coin anymore. It'll just sell it off as it becomes profitable.
Yeah, but and also the underlying value of the account, like people are asking, should I add in some new names if I've been there, trading for a few months? And it's going to depend on what, because you don't like folks to spread their funds out too thin either, right, Ed? So maybe we can
3 to 5 coins is the magic number. People, even a guy with $1 million is trading 5 coins, 5 or 6 coins.
Mhm.
That's it. Because if you're trading 3 coins, like let's get rid of some of these just for the heck of it. 1, 2, 3, all right, 4. Let's get rid of it. So I only left 3. If I spread funds equally, it's got, well, if I spread like this, that's 4 coins. Oh, I left that one checked. Unchecked that. And spread funds equally. You see, if I only have 3 coins, that one's got 34%, that one's got 33, that one's got 33% of my money. That's a good chunk of money for each coin to work with. If you had 10 coins, then you would have 10%. Um, let's put all these back.
Oh, yeah.
Now if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coins, 17% now. Yeah, I've just cut that 34% of my money. I've just cut it in half to 17%. And if I went to 10 coins, it would be 10% of my money per coin. I know people with 50 coins, they're doing 2% per coin, and the coin jumps up, but they didn't make any money because they only got 2% of their money allocated to that coin. I'm like, you want to have a good chunk of money. 3 to 5 coins is a good number. I see people coming in with $500, they want to do 5 coins. I'm like, you're only even that, you're only allocating $100 per coin. Only trade 1 coin. Put 100% of your money into that 1 coin. It's really a function of how much money do you have in the accounts, but also you really, look at how much money I make per trade. $145, $88, $81, $137. And then if you go further down here, you're going to see crazy numbers. Like if I go down here to January, when ACH was taken off, when it started taking off on January 26th, when it started selling, here's January 26th, and ACH started making that move up, and some of these coins were bought at 2.1 cents, like that. I mean, I was making $2,000 a trade, 2,000, because it jumped, and it's like, hey, baby, I got all this inventory, and I started getting some good money on every trade. $600, but then the wiggles is so cool. While it was going up, the auto trader was buying more as it was wiggling down, but then it started going back up again, and then I just started selling all that new inventory off. So, but yeah, you don't want to have a lot of coins. And I'm not in favor of changing coins. After you've already accumulated a bunch of inventory, 18 lots, 32 lots, 25 lots, you can see it there. It's telling me how many lots I have of each one. That's good inventory. It's like, man, I got the market trapped for the rest of my life. These coins, see, that's another thing. When the market's crashing, too many people, And you can think of yourself how you feel when the market's crashing. People internalize it. They say to themselves, I'm down, I'm down. And I'm not like that. I say, the whole world's down. nobody can nobody can make a dime on that coin unless that coin goes up. And the beauty is when it went down, I bought more at the bottom. Whereas other people, they sit around and cry and say, I'm down, I'm down. Yeah, because you went all in up here and you're not buying any more down here. You are down. But the whole world's in that same boat. They are all down. And I feel like, fine, I'm going to punish the market now. You went down there. Well, now you what do they call that? Sleep in your own bed or whatever? Or you did it. Now I'm going to punish you for it. I'm going to buy more at the lowest price. Now what are you going to do, market? You going to run that coin out of business, or are you going to make that move up? And the minute you do that, that little jump, that little pop. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the free money. And for the rest of my life. That's the beauty. So anyways, let's go past this. And then you have the rules. And the rules are already set. You would be surprised how many people would just change all the rules without even looking at them. This is an auto trader. It's a program. And it's going to follow those rules to the letter. So when you're changing things, be careful of what you're changing. Like enable AI, you don't want to disable that. And why do we only say only max lots open in a single day? By the way, you can click on any of these, the labels. Watch, let me click max lots open in a single day. If I click on that, it actually takes me to the what does max lots open in a single day do? It actually takes you to the frequently asked questions, and it explains what it is. Isn't that cool? So you can look, what is the profit goal? Click on it and it tells you. There's a description of it, in the frequently asked questions. So all the labels have headings. All the headings are there. I still got to add some for this one here. I gotta add that to the frequent. They're in the frequently asked questions. I didn't add the links. But and that's just a testament to what I do. I keep improving the software as we go. As I go up for 25 years. But the rules, there's only a handful of rules. Not even a lot. One screen. I got rid of those 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. I said, you know what? We're not going to chase indicators and all. We're going to chase money directly. We're not going to let the market breathe without giving us money.
Plus, the indicators are in the AI. And also, the thing at the bottom of the screen is the trade window. That really speaks to the money management that you're talking about right there.
Oh, I'm covered to the bottom. That means no matter, as long as that coin stays in business, see it says expected trading window 100%. All funds except the profits saved will be used within those 40 lots. That means all except whatever money you have in this current profits saved bucket over here on the bottom here. Now I already have $100,000 of saved money. Usually the default is to save 100% of your profits. Let it all go in. But since the market has gone all the way to the bottom, I feel like, at this point, I'm going to start letting it use all the money. Plus, I've got $100,000 of money sitting here to live on. I mean, I have a Coinbase Visa card, and you all know how I feel about that. I mean, every time I use that card, it's like free money because it's just using the USDC that's in my Coinbase account. And, and I have a Sam's Club card that pays 5% cash back. I don't even use it. I don't care about their 5%. I just love the idea that I could use a card that just keeps cranking out money. I can't spend the money. I mean, how much money can I spend going in 30 days going to a grocery store? And this is a slow month. This trader can do 10,000 in a month.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know, Ed, that you're releasing your profits thinking we're at the bottom here. So
I feel like these coins have gone so far down, it's ridiculous. I mean, and when you look at the coins, it's like, come on, these are multi-million-dollar companies. This coin should be going over $2, if not $20 even. I don't know about Doge, but because I only did that because of Elon Musk. But GRT definitely at 8 cents a share, that's a joke if I ever saw
Right.
one. The rich are going to get so rich loading up on that.
Well, let's go ahead and open it up for some questions in that
Yes,
last 15
I
minutes
love
or
a
so.
good Q&A.
Anybody, I've answered a couple in the chat. Shirley is asking, what do you recommend for people who can't wait long-term or hold long-term? So for like older folks, you know, and when I say long-term,
When you
Shirley, I'm
say
not
older
thinking, I'm
folks,
like
you know,
a year, or I mean, not like you got to be here for 10 years, right, Ed? What's your time horizon
no,
for good profits once
no, I
this?
mean, we've been in a down market for the last 4 years. In a normal market, you know, I mean, you're going to be taking good money anyways. I mean, you're doing great. I mean, you're just going to keep taking money forever. It's just a money machine. I know people who live off their auto traders, you know, and you know, I mean, some people have sold their companies and everything and just plowed all their money into auto trader and just live off the money that's coming in every month. Or you can save it and let it grow. And a lot of people have goals. I mean, you know, think of yourself. Some people have goals. You know, they've got 5,000, and my goal is to get it up to 10. You know, or I've got, you know, my goal is to get it up to 20 or get it up to 100,000 in the account. You know, they're just, you know, I mean, you know, and also I don't do well with the age card. I don't do well when, you know, with the, oh, I'm old and I don't have much, you know, much time kind of stuff. You know, I'm not a young man either, you know, but I mean, I'll do this till I die, and I feel good about it. I mean, I don't think I could do better with anything else. I'm not a mechanic. I can't change, I'm not good at, I can't change the headlight on my car. I mean, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. If I, you know, when I put a bring a ladder in, I'm looking at an air filter here. If I go on that, my wife right away holds the ladder because she's afraid I'm going to fall off. I mean, come on, I've only fallen off ladders a few times in my life. It's not like I'm going to fall off a lot. But, you know, when I think of age, a lot of people that I'm talking to, they go, well, you know, I'm this old. And I'm like, yeah. And we would have been in high school together, partying the whole time. You know, I mean, really, seriously, we're the same age, and you thought you were old? No, you're not. I'm not old. I'm only 23 years old. I don't know where you're at mentally. But
Yeah,
I don't do well with the age thing, you know. And people that I'll be honest, some over the last 25 years, I've actually had some of my clients pass away. It is a fact, you know, but you know, like one guy he had 4 auto traders of the old systems, and they were downloadable software, so he had 4 computers lined up. And he passed away, you know, and I was talking to his wife, and she said, yeah, you know, he passed away. You know, I know one guy, his wife passed away. She's a lovely lady. Um, and I was hurt by it too, you know, but you know, they use these older folks, some of these older folks, they love the auto traders. They got up, she said he got up every day. He had made sure those computers were turned on. You don't have to worry about that because it's all web-based now. You don't have to worry about a computer being on. Because your auto trader, this isn't your auto trader. This is a website showing you what your auto trader is doing. The
right.
actual auto trader is running on my servers, and it's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's nonstop. Every night at
Yeah.
midnight, it stops and restarts. That's it to pick up
You and
new
your son, Ed, you and your son
shit.
are running those things. And I want to
Yeah, you know,
a little
anything
bit.
happens to me, my son will take over, but
These
I'm
are
never
amazing.
gonna stop using this for as long as I live. It's free money.
Yeah,
I mean, where else do you get passive income? This is the ultimate savings account. The more money you throw in it, 100% of a million is different than 100% of 1,000. It's just
right.
a numbers game. The guy with $1 million account, by the way, is not getting more trades than you. He's getting the same number of trades that you're getting. The
That's
difference is he's got more money in there. Oh, look at this.
right.
Profit goal reached, order pending. So my auto trader is getting ready to lock in some more money right now. Let's see what it does here. It's submitted
Yeah.
the order already.
And
See that?
Dr. Yep, I see that. That's awesome, Ed. We're live. You have your hands raised. And
Yes.
it's
Hi
okay.
there. I've asked this question once or twice before
Do I
about
refuse to
the,
answer it or what?
well, you told me not to use the money that I have in the current saved profit bucket. I wanted to use that, and you mentioned something, I don't know
No,
whether
I
the
didn't mean don't go out and buy a car or don't go and buy groceries and stuff like that. I'm saying don't just release it to the auto trader.
that's what I want. Well, then how do I get my position higher, the account value, to have more money in the game, so to speak? Should I use new money, or should I take the money out of
New
the
money's
current
always the
profit
best
saves?
way.
New
New
money is
money,
always the best way. All right.
new money's always the best way. But I like to save. It's kind of like this. You see, I have 25 lots of this coin, right?
Yes.
And I've got 32 lots of this coin. Okay, when I first turned the auto trader on, those of you who know, the auto trader's default is 25 lots. Did you hear that ka-ching or no?
Yeah.
Yes, you've increased the amount of lots. Yes. So more
No,
money
what I was gonna
is at
say is
play.
here, this thing just popped up and it says, I just took 86 more dollars of free money. It's just free money. I don't know what to say. So, I'm working here and I mean, I'm sitting here talking and I just got more free money. Thanks for the free money, folks. It's a joke. The whole market's a joke. But like I said, the default when you first get your trader is a 75% trading window at 25 lots. But these coins, this coin reached 25 lots. See? So it would stop trading if it reached the max. I've told it don't trade more than 25 lots. So I raised the number to 30 lots, okay? On this screen here. So I went to 30 lots, right? So I raised it to 30. Where did I get the money to raise it to 30? Because if I used up all the lots, then I used up all the money for that coin. Now there's two things I could do to get money into it, other than put more money into the account. I could have just clicked spread funds equally and it would have leveled all the money that's available for all the coins equal, kind of spread it out more and borrow money for it, and it would have got money for that coin. And the other thing that I could do was I could release funds from my save bucket. So if I wanted, I could go in here and say edit. I could say, let's release 10,000 minus 10000. If I click save right now, it's going to reduce my 106,000 of save money to 96,000. See it down here? It's going to reduce it to that. And that 10,000 then is going to be available for the auto trader to use. So that's how I would do it there. I like to have a big bucket of saved money. But at any time you can do whatever, if you want to release all of it, you could. At the time you release all of it, I recommend that you raise your number at the bottom, your lots. So then the next thing that happened is another coin, because the market was crashing so hard, this coin, this one went over 30 lots, see? So then I said, okay, well, I'll raise this. I could have raised it to 35 lots, but I said, you know what? Just raise it to 40 because I don't want to just raise it to 3 more lots. Whoops. I don't want to just raise it to 3 more lots than it already had if I went to 35 lots. So I said, raise it to 40. That's why you saw I had 40 lots here. So that's the way to do it. And then, I could release, if I didn't have enough money in my available per coin, then I could always go to my save bucket. It hurts me deeply when people do this. I'll show you what some people do. They're so eager to get all their money in because it's going to squeeze all your money into that trading window, into that, like it says here, all funds except profits saved will be used within those 40 lots. Some people actually do stuff like this. You're going to cry when you see it because I cry when I see them do it. They'll go down here to that, and they'll 10 lots, and they'll 3 times 10 is a 30% trading window. That means when the coin drops 30%, you've used up all your money. And then when the coin drops more, you don't have any money. because you used it all up in that 30% window.
I
Then
see.
they call me and they send me email and say, hey, Ed, how come my auto trader's not buying any more coins? And then I look in here and I go, oh, that's because you used it all up in a 30% window and the coin dropped 60%. Now you're not trading down here because you're out of money. So I say, well, let's raise this. So we raise it to some number. Usually I try to get it to 20 or 25. The default is 25, really. That's the minimum. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't lower it, especially in a down market. So I raise it to some number, but then I say, okay, where are we going to get the funds for it to trade with since you used it all up? Now, sometimes some coins have enough money available and you could just hit spread funds equally and borrow from other coins. That's fine. But sometimes all of them are down because especially if you set that to 30, more than likely you're going to run out of money on all of them when the coins drop more than 30%. So then I'm going to say, well, where should I go to get the money? 1 second, Glenn. And then I say, well, where are we going to get the money? Well, let's go to the save bucket. So I go over here and what do I discover? 0 saved because he also set save profits to 0. I mean, I set save profits to 0 after I had $100,000 sitting in my save bucket. I want to build some cash first before I stop it from saving. Let it save some money, you know. It comes in handy. You need 4 new tires, boom, you got a bucket of money. Glenn.
So this is really great information,
Oh,
Ed.
I think Glenn raised his hand.
Oh, Glenn, I just want to comment really quick because I skipped over a question regarding that because somebody said that they had 15,000 in their saved profits. So this is a great call, you guys, because Ed is just saying too that, you know, we're really heating up now and we could potentially release those back. Maybe you release partial, like what you did, Ed. You still have 100 and
Or all
saved.
of it. It depends how close he has, how close, if you know who that is, how many lots are they already sitting on? Are they real close to the 25 lots that were already set?
That's
You know,
Dr.
like
G,
if they're at
actually.
24 lots, then they want to raise that to 30. And
Yeah.
then I could, you know, anytime I take money out of the man, if I want to release more money to the trader, then I would also, I like to do that at the same time as add more lots to be able to trade with. So that you're using the money, you know, I don't want you to just use all that money and then run out, because what it'll do is it'll take if I took that 100,000 and threw it in here and set my max lots to 25, this symbol only has 1 lot to go to hit 25. That means whatever money I gave it to trade, it's going to squeeze it all into 1 lot because it's going to squeeze it all into 25 lots. That means if I gave it 5,000 more to work with and I told it trade just 25 lots, it's going to squeeze all that money, whatever available money is left, into that 25 lots. And since there's only 1 lot left, that's where it's all going to go, into that 1 lot. Because sometimes somebody will do that and they'll say, how come my auto trader just bought $20,000 worth of that coin? Well, that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, that's great.
But you know, these are the stuff we're talking about right here is things that people over time you get all this because this didn't happen overnight. We didn't hit 24 lots overnight. All right.
And basically what you're helping people with that is risk management. So if your trader is set to 75% trade window, and right now today you're gonna release your 15,000 back into the trader to be trading those funds. You want to at the same time do what Ed did, which is lower your trade window. So that way you're protecting your downside just in case.
Increase your trade window.
Increase your trade window. Yeah. So it's like down to 100% versus 75%. So it's just, you know, we're being conservative and not, yeah, we're just being.
You want to be conservative. You know, there's no rush because we're doing, you know, when I released the Auto Trader in 2021 in October, and the market started crashing, the first thing I thought is, oh my God, I released a robotic trader to the public and the market is crashing. And I didn't know a real lot about the crypto market. I just knew that it moved up and down 20% more than stocks. I'm like, wow, this is gold to an auto trader because, you know, the movement is like stocks don't move like this. I mean, I love cryptos. However, the market started crashing, and I thought this was bad, but it turned out it was good because everything got fine-tuned. I mean, I started adding features, you know, like these things up here that I didn't have in the stock market. I didn't need them. Things to slow down the trader in its trading because you don't, you know, let the market breathe. Let the market go where it wants to go. Spread your buys out by at least an hour, you know, so that 60 minutes between buys, so it gives the coin, if it's going to drop 20%, let it drop 20%. Don't feel like you got to quick, on a down day, go on 3% drops, buy 7 times. You don't want to do that. Wait an hour and watch it drop 20% and then buy again down here. It's beautiful. So, you know, so we fine-tuned all that stuff. So there's really no rush to do anything. Take it easy. All the settings are already set. Anybody that signs up, your settings are already set. The auto trader automatically picks 3 of the top moving coins for you, and you can just, as soon as you turn on, you can go live within 10 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all, you guys. So I put my text number in the chat along with
And we
a
all
link
help you.
for the and I don't know if I heard you correct yet. I have a lot. I hope you guys don't hear all this rain in the background. It's really noisy. My end.
She's in
But
Costa Rica. It's probably pouring.
yeah, it is pouring and there's some thunder, but yeah, it's a really quick setup, but I'll also walk you through the menu and show you around and you know, we'll set it up and get you off to a great start. So
Yeah, we help everybody. We don't leave anybody hanging. Any
yeah.
emails that come to support@gobabytrade.com get resolved every day. I go into your account, I look at things, I give you anything I see wrong, I let you know. I actually have a cool feature that you guys are gonna love. It's called the health meter. I haven't released it yet, but it's down here in the admin links. You don't have it yet. But this health meter, if I click on that, it's the coolest thing. It's like it tells you if there's anything wrong with your trader. That anything Ed doesn't like. But you see all these down on the bottom, they're all checked. These are all good. Everything is good. Green is good. Yellow is warnings. I only got a couple warnings. And one of them, it says one or more of your coins, I can't see it because I got this thing in my way, is low funds remaining. That means if 90% of the funds on a coin is used, that's a minor thing. And then the other thing, trader not set to save profits. To me, I give you a warning. It's like, hey, you know what? You can read about it here in the FAQ, you know, and here, if you click on profits management, you can just click review. It'll take you right to that page, you know, which is cool. So you're gonna like this profits management feature. It's a way cool feature. I'm getting ready to almost release it. I just have a couple descriptions to clean up here.
I love that you guys you're
But you
always
know,
back.
it lets you know if anything is out of whack in your trader. You're gonna like that.
Yeah, so you guys, Ed and Steven are always back there tweaking things, keeping an eye on the market. Ed, you gave us a great market overview today too, and what is going on out there with these down days. And I just really appreciate your time with us today.
Yeah, and you saw it take free money today, even while we're on the air. I'm not even looking at it. The
Sarah
only time I look at my traders, by the way, any of my traders, I don't even look at all my traders. I haven't even looked at my $1 million account in days, in weeks maybe, because I know it's taken all that the market wants to give it. The market doesn't care who I am. It's not up to me to dictate anything. But whatever I've got the market so trapped that I know I'm taking everything the market's willing to give it. If it's a down day, fine. It'll be a buy day. I'm not worried about it. I'll buy more on a down day. But if it's an up day, I'm gonna sell. GRT and Doge sold today. Which 2 coins sold today? There they are, GRT and Doge. The 2 coins up 4%, up 4%. Thank you very much. My trader is set to take profits on 3% gains. So there you go. There's the free money. If these guys start to make their move, now it can take 2% today and another 2% tomorrow, and it'll take profits. So I'm not even worried about it. So if they have another update tomorrow on ACH and SHIB or Swift, I'll be closing those off too. Not even worried about it. I know I'm taking everything the market's willing to give me. I am so laid back. I'm like on Vicodin or something. I mean, seriously, man, I am on a natural high. I've conquered the market. I've been doing it 25 years. I'm at ease with the market. I've automated everything. It's all going to happen all by itself. And
You're always
anybody that doesn't sign up, I'm sorry to hear that. Because everywhere I go, I mention crypto. Even if I'm in line in a store and there's people in front of me and behind me, we got a little group session going here. We're talking crypto. And what I'm amazed is most of them are completely out of it. They don't even know what a crypto is. They're not, oh, I don't even know what it is. And if they don't mention if they don't say, what is your website? I don't either. So we talked and talked. They didn't care enough to ask, what is the website? So it's like, all right, fine, whatever. And I hope you got a lot of listening to me talk, because I didn't even tell you where to go to sign up. And, they're just gone. They're just gone. It's like, they're out of it, and I've discovered that almost every person I talk to out there is not in crypto. And I'm like, and that just tells me, boy, the rich have got this one. They got this one is going to be the big one. This is going to be the mother of all paydays. You miss this one, then you've missed the biggest money grab in our lifetime. That's it, and it's gone. If you miss it, forget the tech revolution, forget the internet revolution, forget the banking, the problems there where they pushed the bank stocks down to $1, then rocketed them to 50. If you miss that, this one is bigger than all three of those combined. This is the big one. You miss this one, then you're done. You've missed it all. There's no other opportunity. This crypto revolution is worldwide. And I'm watching how the whales are playing it, and I'm like, boy, they are looking for the mother of all paydays. And I spotted it 4 years ago. I said, these guys are looking for the mother of all paydays. And I've been watching it for 4 years. They've got everybody out. They got everybody running scared. If anything, they got everybody buying Bitcoin, and that's it. And I'm like, man, that means all these altcoins are nobody's even in them, except for the whales, the rich, and us. So it's like, man, watch when these things really start moving.
Yeah.
Anyways, questions, Q&A, baby. There must be a lot of questions. I already finished one bottle, and I got a whole nother bottle to go here for Q&A.
If there's any last questions, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. It's about 1:36, and Ed will go for 3 hours if we want him to. But if there's any last questions, and I did put my phone in the
Glenn's
chat.
raising his hand.
Yeah, Glenn, go ahead.
Hey guys, Ed, can I just send you an email, I think as you indicated, with several questions I have,
For sure.
rather than take up time here?
Absolutely. Send it to support@gobabytrade.com.
Okay, I'll do that today.
Cool.
Do that today. Thanks,
I'll
guys.
I'll get to it maybe next week. I'm kidding, man.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, Ed's got
You're
a
welcome,
great
Glenn.
team, a really great team. Anybody else have any final questions?
Nothing in the. So you did give everybody a link to sign up and get 1,000 off the website price if they use your link. Where's your link? I don't see it.
It's all posted down here again. Yeah, we are hopping in the chat. So it's
Did it?
gobabytrade.com/impact earnings.
Where is it? Are you typing it in now?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and then of course, I just prefer, let's just, text and we can hop on, and that's the easiest thing. And I'm in WhatsApp, you guys. I can get texts and WhatsApp from Costa Rica, so let's connect. And
I know. Next time you got to take us on a tour of your property.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's really beautiful. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Go Navy.
Bye. Thanks so much, Ed.
It seemed fabulous.